This is Sarah Squires bringing you behind the headlines in today's edition of WYO Today Newsroom. Today, I am joined in the studio by CWC Rodeo coach Drew Shrock. Welcome to the show, Drew.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
So I know we've got kind of like the pillar event of the year for CWC Rodeo coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about this Rustler Roundup Rodeo that we've got on our calendars?
Yeah, just like the whole broad spectrum of it, it's the second regional rodeo of 10 for our region. So we've been to Chadron State College 2 weekends ago, and yeah, like I said, we get to be the second hosting team to put one on, which adds a little bit to the weekend. They're not on the team's not only competing, but I expect them to work and help produce it and do all that stuff. Yeah, a lot of their friends and family are here to support them, so they got to kind of weigh that all out and make it all work. So it benefits us because it kind of gets them out of their head a little bit and gets them to work. And
yeah, a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
For your team to tackle. Drew, tell us a little bit about the team.
Well, relatively young again, as we were last year. We got one junior, Colton Clymer. He's back for his third year. Besides that, we're freshmen and sophomores. But you know what? Like, we have a lot of potential as far as individuals being able to go and do well this year. They've been practicing well. They didn't quite perform up to our standards maybe at Chadron. Whether it be kind of drawn wrong or just kind of some mental things, maybe believing, at a young age that they are capable of competing at this level, and that's why we have them here. So, yeah, we're looking forward to them getting out at their hometown rodeo. They've been practicing well. They came back with some aggression in workouts and practice, and so it's been good.
So I'm sure that there's a little bit of a home team advantage here, when the rodeo team is, kind of competing on their own stomping grounds. But the other advantage is that we can go to this rodeo too. It's right in our backyards. So the event, as I understand, it's the 19th to the 21st. So how can regular folks, who just want to take in the action, how can we get in the doors?
Well, so we really start, it starts at noon on Friday. So I'll give you the performance times and then the slack times. The performance times we charge, but you can show up to the gate and buy your tickets there. We start at noon on Fridays, a performance. And then 2 o'clock on Saturday is our Saturday performance, and then our short round on Sunday, which is the top 10 that come back from the long round. That's our championship round. It starts at 11 o'clock. And then we also have an overflow of contestants that we aren't able to put them into the performances just due to time restraints. So those slack times will start at 5 o'clock on Saturday and Saturday evening, and then 5 o'clock Friday evening, and 9 o'clock Saturday morning will be our slack times. So basically, you might get charged if you show up in the middle, at a performance, but you can show up all weekend and see some action. We start noon on Friday and we go all the way through 1 o'clock on Sunday. There's something going on there.
So, Drew, tell me what drew you to the rodeo. How did you get involved? I think that's not the kind of thing that people just sort of fall into.
Right.
What's your background?
Like my mom was born and raised on on a ranch outside of Pinedale, Wyoming, and I've just always been a cowboy, and my dad roped, and so he wasn't necessarily raised on a ranch, but he roped, and so I took it on, and I started really roping a lot when I was 11 years old, and I actually went to college here for the coach that preceded me, Rick Smith. And then I was able to come back and be part of the program. I've been teaching the Farrier Science still since 2006. Started coaching in 2012, but prior to that, I was still kind of coaching the timed event side of stuff for Rick and able to practice and be there for that. So I've been part of the program since '96 and rodeo my whole life. So I'm pretty passionate about it.
Yeah. Well, that's a long tenure of coaching and performing and kind of perfecting that craft. What does practice look like for those of us who aren't maybe rodeo kids? What do you have your students work on?
Well, I guess, I mean, it's a whole, I mean, we mental toughness, strength there, like especially when you get to this level. So our days start at 6 o'clock. We have 6 a.m. workouts. The team goes to classes and does all their things, and then we start practice at 3:30 to 7. We have 10 different events that we work throughout the week, so we split that up, and each event gets to go twice a week. By the time they get to this level, we're breaking some things down for them, but they're here for a reason. They kind of they put the work in. They've got a lot of the technical ability, the horsepower, if you will, on the timed event side. And then we just try to teach them that mental toughness, and like there's a lot to be said when you're getting up at 6 a.m. and grinding it out every day, all day. Like that puts a little bit of dog in you, and that's what we want. So.
Absolutely. So, I think if we're lucky, we've already been inside the CWC Ag and Equine Complex, which is just a spectacular facility. Can you tell us about maybe some of the advantages that the team gets to enjoy now that you've got such stellar digs?
Well, like having everything right there, being able to board their horses right across the road from the apartments. So, I mean, what stands out the most is the timeliness of our practice. It used to be 4:30 because they were trailering their horses into the old facility, before we could get started. So then you're 8:30 at night before you're done, and then they got to go and drive and put their horses up. Where now we're starting practice sharp at 3:30. I can have a meeting at 3 and have everybody there. Practice start at 3:30. We're done by 7. They're eating out of the cafeteria. That's the biggest thing. As far as the quality of practice that we get in all the arenas, but the 2 big arenas are amazing. Like they're big enough to where livestock just works well, and I mean you can just have quality practice. And I really noticed it at the end of last season how well our horses were working, and and the guys, they just a lot of confidence in the team when you have that size of a facility to do your job in. So yeah, it's I mean, and then just I don't know, they turn the music up in there. It's a neat environment. It gets our horses in an environment like rodeo. These ranch horses, sometimes they need that so that when they go to the rodeo, that loud music and the crowd doesn't blow their mind. So we kind of practice that way, and I think it's good for the team too. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in here, we're talking about the Rustler Roundup Rodeo, which is coming up on September 19th through the 21st here. So Friday through Sunday. The action starts at noon on Friday. So absolutely mark your calendars and make sure that you are ready to soak up all of the action here at the CWC Ag and Equine Complex, where our CWC Rodeo team is going to really strut their stuff on their home turf here. So that is kind of one of the, pinnacle events of the year, I think, for our rodeo community. It's when we can really sort of show off a little bit about, all of the hard work that goes into the team and supporting that team. So we really want to wish you guys well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell us, Drew, a little bit more about, what happens next. So you mentioned that this would be the second regional rodeo out of 10. So kind of how does that calendar build up until you get further into the season?
So we'll go 3 more consecutive weekends this fall to finish up our fall season. We'll go to Sheridan, travel down to Lamar, Colorado, and then we'll finish up at LCCC. Then we have clinics. We have kind of all of our just winter practice. We kind of break down things that maybe we see in the fall that really need fixed, but would maybe be more devastating to address them during the season. Try to break some of that stuff down and get some of those things built back up until March, and then we start back up. We'll have 5 more in the spring. We go to Gillette, EWC in March, and then we go CSU, Casper College, and then we finish up at UW is the final regional rodeo, and then hopefully again we get some kids to the college finals in Casper in June.
So, Drew, in addition to the big crowd of hometown folks who are going to be cheering on the team, I know that a lot of sponsors and work has gone into this event. So, who else do we have to thank?
Yeah, just all of our sponsors, no doubt. And I'm not going to list them off because I feel like I leave some out, and that's not fair to them. But if you are able to make it out to the rodeo and you see the banners of our local sponsors, please get out there and support them because we couldn't do without them. So,
absolutely. And definitely an exciting season, and we're so happy that we are able to play host to one of the big events of the year, which is the Rustler Roundup coming up here this weekend, the 19th through the 21st. As I mentioned, the action starts on Friday at noon at the CWC Ag and Equine Complex. Well, thank you so much, Drew, for filling us in on all of this fun stuff coming up for our rodeo friends, and we really want to show our home